Alright, he's me here. I got a quick job to do today. Well, I'm gonna try to make it quick anyways. I've been working on my quad all day, so try to get this done before the sun comes down. But I got this here extension cord coming from the house here. Hopefully it's long enough. It's long enough. And we're gonna go do some soldering. So what I'm gonna do today is solder a like piece of speaker wire from here. I'm gonna leave these here from here to here, so we can see the boost gauge at night. So yeah, so that's the plan. So to do that, this tree is still raining down seeds and shit all over my car. I'm just gonna have to get a vacuum and suck all this shit out. So I need this, my little electronics toolkit here. And we got to work on the street. I wanted to work at my other house today, but as I just got no time, I really don't feel like going over there. So this is the next best thing. In fact, I probably should have just flipped the car around. It did make it harder because I have to work on this curb. It's really nice to at least work in the driveway, you know. I think that's it, right? Yeah. So what I'm gonna need from here is I need a knife for one thing. I need a knife. Where's my little knife? I'm constantly losing that thing. Okay, well I got a knife here, but that's not the one I'm looking for. But I need a piece of big red thing, but I need a spade connector, the female spade connector, kind of like that. Boom, pretty good. Oh, this one you can't solder though. Maybe you won't have to solder then. Forget it. Forget about it. Or we can use one of these. So this is way too big for the wire that we need. It's like the tiniest wire. All it is it just powers the bulb inside the boost gauge. That's all it does. So you don't need something high gauge, you know. So I think that'll work. I may not solder it, and we'll just crimp it. But we would have to solder it onto the other side. So that's one of them. And this is similar to the one that's on the car already. Yeah, it's actually exactly the same as the one on the car. Yeah, that'll work. I'll go get the gauge too. But that should do the trick. We just need another one for the. We need another one for the ground, but I don't want to do the ground if I don't want to do the ground with a nice fancy covered one. I want to save that one for some other stuff. So we'll find something. Anyway, alright. So what I've opted to go with is this here. That's a little bit too big a gauge, but we can just use this inner part here. Will hold it pretty well. As long as we crimp it good. We'll crimp it, and then we'll put one of these little silicone dealies over it that I got from Daiso, and use this enclosed female spade connector. So the reason I want to use an enclosed one for that one that has like a little protector on it is because obviously it's a hot wire, it's a positive wire, so if if it touches anything it's not supposed to, it'll short out. So the ground is okay, the ground could touch whatever, I don't give a shit. Okay, so here we've got the gauge set up. Man, that's gonna be really hard to get that wire in there, dude. I think we're gonna have to. Man, this thing freaking sucks, dude. I know. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take the gauge out, connect the wire. So I have to make sure I leave a little bit of extra wire, maybe like 6 inches, half a foot of extra wire, so I can pull it out of the gauge and then connect it, and then we stick it back in, and then we have to connect the boost gauge. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, this. Alternatively, we could connect the wire first and then run it, but I don't want to do that. Just in case we want to take it out later, we want to make it sure we can do it fairly easily. Okay, so let's first I need a wire. I need a wire, and I need to pull this gauge out. So I got the wire here. We're gonna probably solder it like back here somewhere around there, and then and we can still use this a little bit. So I hate to say it, but I think I forgot which one is which. They're both black wires, so who the fuck uses two black wires, you know? There's no way to tell which one is positive or negative, for sure. So I got a Mr. Test light here. I'm gonna take this light out. I think I don't even need the keys to do this, so those are the gauges. Okay, just start probing. Okay, so it's the green wire. The green wires are positive. So there it is. So that's where we're gonna go connect my positive. So I've got this black and white speaker wire here that we're gonna use, and the positive is going to be the white wire. See, easy, right? One is white and one is black. Black is always ground, so should be ground anyways. So I probably want to cut this wire a little bit. I want to have a little bit extra, but not too much. Probably like cut it like right here, and the rest we can just shove in there. Now it's starting to get crowded under there, man. Let me just stash. So I got the soldering iron warming up here, and let me go start cutting and stripping. All right, so I've gone ahead and twisted the wires. Well, I cut the jacket first with the hobby knife, and then I twisted the wires on there, so now it's ready to be soldered. Okay, I got it soldered on there. This looks okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some electrical tape and then point the wires going out the back there, so you know, you can route it better. Okay, there it is. So it's all taped and zip tied now. So I'm pretty much done with this here. What I might do is, I have another boost gauge actually. I have a Cobalt, a Autometer Cobalt boost gauge, and I'm probably just gonna plug it in there, and then I'll just plug this up there. So just so there's something in there, so it doesn't look like there's nothing missing. Later, I'm planning to maybe put a oil pressure gauge. Maybe, we'll see. I've never installed one before, so I know you gotta find a way to put the sensor somewhere. Alright, so this is the other end of it here. I still gotta put the spade connectors on it, so let's go do it. So what I've opted to do is I'm gonna use this and this instead. The red one obviously is gonna be the positive, and I have I still got this little silicone thing, and I had oh, there it is. So I put it's a piece of shrink tubing I'm going to put over the spade connector, and that way it'll be enclosed. Alright, we can do that after. Okay, there it is. It's done. So this is obviously this is our positive, I hope. Okay, yeah, and this is our negative right here. And then I, like I said, I use the shrink wrapping to, I might have put a little too much on the front, but the spade connector will just cut right through that. So let's go test it out. So here's our boost gauge right here. And so 12 volts is right here, and ground is right here. So let me go hook that up real quick. Okay, it's the moment of truth. Let me turn my headlight off and turn the lights on. Boom, it works. I like it. It's too bad it's white though. Damn it. Yeah, I know the gauges are green, but the gauge is white. I mean the gauge cluster is green. Kind of sucks. But I actually don't like white either. White's not a good color for your gauges, because it makes your eyes tired when you're looking at it. But you're probably not staring. I'm not staring at the boost gauge all the time, you know, so it's no big deal. So there it is. So all we have to do is put it in the little gauge pod there, and then and we'll go do the thing. So like I said, I'm gonna leave this air fuel ratio gauge in there. It's not hooked up right now. That's probably be next on my list of things to do. But let's go hook up the boost gauge. So all I gotta do, yeah. So let's take this out first. Okay, so how this is gonna go is we've got to do. So if you remember correctly, I put some electrical tape around this so it would tighten up it'll hold better inside there because it was a little loose. So I gotta go put okay, so we gotta get the wire and pull it through the gauge pod first. Let's do that. Okay, it's starting to get a little chilly. So there it is. So I got the gauge pod there, and then all the stuff to hook up here, and all I have to do is hook it up to the gauge. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now, and then we'll just slip that right in and then press the gauge down so the Velcro bites. Okay, there it is. So it's on there. It's all connected. I tighten it with the wrench, the boost signal line, and the two wires, and then we just have to just stick it in the pod now. And ta-da! There it is. So there it is. So okay, so I'm not super happy with that. There's a big gap under here. I think what I'm gonna do with that is put some. I know I didn't really do that anymore. What I can do, well, this pretty easily comes out again. What I can do is put some of that Velcro, the fuzzy stuff, and just stick it under here, and use that as a like a spacer padding, you know. And that way I know that's gonna so bug me. That's gonna bug me a lot when I'm driving, because I'm just gonna be looking at this gap the whole time, and it's gonna piss me off. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go fire this bad boy up. If I can find my keys and see if the boost gauge works. So first, let's see if the lights work. They do work. Turn the light off now. We don't need that anymore. Fire it up. Boom, it works. See it moving there. I don't want to build boost yet. I just started the car, so it's cool. But yeah, so there it is. That's what it looks like at night. This gauge is not doing anything right now. Normally, what you'd see is like a LED movement sweeping around here, kind of like over here. Oh yeah. So what I got to do is put the other gauge in there. See, this one is still working. So that's gonna be next on my agenda, is get this guy working. That's what it looks like. I kind of don't like how. I kind of wish this one was over here, but this one doesn't fit very good over here. And then this one, it sticks out a whole lot. It's a little ghetto looking, but that's fine. You do kind of have to like move your eyeball a little bit, but actually it's perfect now that I think about it, because look at the steering wheel here. See, the steering wheel doesn't block it at all, you know, at all. So it's actually perfect. There's no better way to put gauges on this, other than just to put like a pillar pod, but I don't really dig those. So there it is. Like I said, I think I'm gonna stick a piece of Velcro, the fuzzy part of the Velcro, under here to cover that gap. But we're pretty much done. Let's see if we can build some boost here. Ooh, I'm gonna rev it quite a bit. It's okay. All right. Mission accomplished. Here's what it looks like. Well, that's what it looks like without the lights. So one is green and one is white. I wonder if there's a way you can change the color on that, but actually I have autometer cobalt gauge. I'll show you what that looks like when I hook it up. Maybe I'll switch it with that one. The cobalt one is blue. So the the HKS turbo timer is blue, so I think that would match better with this. At least I got this blue. I'll have this blue and green theme going on in here, because see, there's a lot of green lights in here, and they got this blue light. The deck is blue, so I think it would be better with the blue light. I'm not really digging this white light here, and like I said, it's an LED. It's not a light bulb like a traditional, like most gauges. They just have the light bulb that you can unscrew and take out. This one doesn't have that. It's a straight up LED light, so which is very nice. I like that. You know, I like the Autometer did that. And it creates a more consistent lighting throughout the gauge. See, it's a very nice gauge. But I would like the blue gauge, so I'm gonna go get that from inside my room, and then we'll try that out. But I would have to change the vacuum port on it, because it's using the using the other one. So, but for now, we'll just stick with this. All right, Hazel out. Yeah. All right, Hazel here. Just closing off this video. I'll there will be another episode to this to my little gauge series here. This is what my closing video for tonight. I hope this is an Autometer Cobalt gauge. The other one is a Sport Comp 2. It's pretty much, it's the same gauge. It's the same. It says 30 inches of mercury, 30 inches of mercury, and then 20 psi boost. 20 psi boost. Yeah. I think the font on this looks more like this, you know, but this is a little more like, you know, it's a little cooler looking. So interesting to note, this gauge used to be on my Kawasaki GPZ 750 Turbo. Yes, Hades Omega does have a turbocharged motorcycle. You know, Hades Omega is all about the boost. But yeah, I had it on there, and it turns out you needed a liquid field gauge for that to have on a motorcycle, because the motorcycle vibrates a lot, and the needle would just be, you know, shaking all over the place. So, so I pulled it out, and I thought it was like kind of dirty, because it on the motorcycle it sits outside in the environment, so it's I thought it was kind of messed up, but it still sits at 0. So this is what it looks like with the light on. Boom! It's blue. So I think so what do you guys think looks better, you know, that blue gauge, you know, or this white gauge? I think I like the blue gauge better. So what might wind up happening is I'm gonna switch these gauges. I'm gonna take this gauge, put it down here, and then move this blue one up here, and then that way at least I got this blue-green thing going on. And by blue-green, I mean HKS Turbo Timer blue. Let's see, the same blue. And that's the same color as that too. That's actually a better looking gauge for that. So yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think when next we meet, we will we'll switch this gauge with this gauge. The only problem is so right now it's just kind of just sitting there doing nothing. I don't even have the little bracket, the thing to tighten it. Yeah, there's nothing hooked up to it, so it's not going to do anything. It's just kind of just there to look pretty. My only gripe is that this gauge is got a chrome bezel, and this one has a silver bezel, and this one has kind of like an aluminum colored bezel. It's like I have there's some weird color stuff going on in here. So I don't have a chrome one for this. Maybe I can get some chrome paint or something. But maybe I'll just make it black. Yeah, maybe I'll just put the black one on. There's actually a black bezel for this, so one will be black and one will be chrome. It's not that big a deal, I guess. But it looks like you can pretty easily paint this. It's plastic, you know. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll play around a little bit, but what has to happen is this has the barb fitting on it. I have to put the other fitting in, the one where you just you screw it on fitting. So that's what has to change on that one. And then that one I'm just gonna put over here, and it's just gonna be there for now, just to look pretty. It'll still light up. I have the light, the wire is still there. So yeah. So we're not totally done yet. And also I have to clean up some of the wiring, but it's kind of late and I gotta get to work. So I gotta clean up. This is the wire right here, the one that I just soldered in, and then this is the boost line. I'm gonna zip tie it around the plenum here, and then we should be good to go. I think everything else, it turned out pretty clean. And then I still have to put the Velcro here, so that'll be my thing for tomorrow. So it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but it should be okay, because all this work is inside the car. I can just do it inside the car. It's no big deal. So all right. That'll be it. Ease me out. I'm really glad I got that gauge installed. I will well, after my next video, I might do a follow-up video to tell you guys how it turned out. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Actually, this is actually really nice. I like this a whole lot. The only bad thing is I lost a speaker. So I still have the other speaker over there. So and like I can't put my dash mat over it. I guess I could put my dash mat over it, but I think I'm just gonna leave it like this because I like to look at the carbon fiber. It looks so cool, so cool. And another thing is it makes it a little less sleeper because yeah, you can see the gauge here on this. So if you saw this, oh man, this guy's got gauges in this car. What's he got under the hood? It's a boost gauge there. It's got turbo, you know. but for the most part, you couldn't see it. I don't even think you could see it from outside. Let's see. I'll turn the lights on and everything. Boom. So yeah, yeah, you kind of can see it from the inside there. Like if a police officer were to come and look at that, they're like, "Hey, what's those gauges there?" I'm like, "Oh, that's stock, officer." Yeah, I guess the pillar pod would be more sleeper because you probably couldn't see it as much. But because I have this this trim thing here, you know. But that's okay. Like I said, it's function over, you know, sleeperness. I guess is what I'm gonna call it. Function over sleeperness. This is way more functional than that, you know. If all I have to do is go look at like that real quick, you know, that's so much quicker than like you know, and the numbers are so small on these gauges. You know, you want to be right next to that thing, man. And I can read it no problem from here. All I have to do, I don't even have to move my head. I just kind of just like move my eyeballs, you know. Just move my eyeball a little bit and I can see it. So I'm really happy with this setup. This is good. If you're you know, if you're trying to get more horsepower out of your turbo car, you've got to have, you know, good gauges. And you know, they have to be useful, you know. All right, here's my go.